get into it. Good morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads. I just turned on the recording. This is our call for Facebook advertising. And I was just speaking with somebody who's on the call here right now. And she was saying, she's got one listing and she needs to get more listings. And so I asked before we started the call, what's your comfort level with Facebook advertising? And let me kind of answer it for Valerie, because we were just speaking. You can get buyer and seller leads from Facebook. Okay. And we'll talk about all of that right now today. So let me pop over to the answer to the question of, what you know. And so Valerie's saying that she's been doing ads, but not with us. And the others, everybody else says, yeah, you're using our platform for everybody else to run ads. Okay, so that's good. So it feels like people are kind of knowing that. I want to start this call with a question that I just saw in our mastermind group. Okay. And it's a good question. And I think it's something as we talk about, especially getting listings. So this is our mastermind group. If you're a client, you should be in the mastermind group. And this question, it comes up every once in a while. It's really important to understand how you capture leads. Okay. And this guy says, are you guys using lead forms or landing pages to get seller leads? I like the full address in the landing pages, but I'm missing emails in a lot of that. Right. So we're going to dive right in to how to get listing leads with home valuation landing pages. And usually I do this at the end of the call because it's complicated. But I think that there are a lot of listings coming onto the market. The market obviously is shifting all over the place, but you need to really be confident and competent about how to get listing leads. And Facebook actually has there's a way to make Facebook really awesome for you regarding that. So let me log into my account. Let's see here. So normally when we talk about, ads on Facebook, you get listings, you can borrow listings, you can market listings, you'll get a lot of buyers. It's really easy. We're going to cover that buyer stuff today on the second half of the call. Okay. We're going to talk about listings right now because that question came up and I actually just responded to it. But here's the story, right? This is right here. You create a home valuation landing page. I have one for Pleasant Hill. You leave it on. So the question that he has is, should I use the lead form or should I drive the traffic to the landing page? Okay. And right here is the question. Our default settings are lead ads. Okay. And you could change it to traffic, which means when somebody clicks on the ad, it drives them to the landing page. Okay. So let's kind of just walk through that. Now, if you want listings, this is a really smart thing to do, is go over to the landing page section and create a landing page, which we call Property Valuation Plus, for any town that you want to build listings in, right? So let's say you're in, I don't know, what, San Diego, right? But you all have towns. You have big towns and small towns. You just put in the name, you do it correctly, and you click create a landing page. Okay. And once you do that, you're going to get a custom. No, you're not going to get a custom. You're going to get, let's see if I have it here. You're going to get a generic, like this right here says Annapolis. So if I click you're going to get a generic home value landing page. Oh, this is not generic. This is one I put a video on. And it looks like, I think it looks like this. Okay. And then if you hear me, I'll tell you like something like this, it's generic and it doesn't always work. And that's why if you look on my landing page section, you're going to see that I have more, I take that page and I customize it, right? So this is one for Oakland. And this is Jack London Square. It's a really famous part about Oakland. So, like, I know your area, right? I'm going to offer you free home value. I know your area, right? Here, I have one here, which is kind of close to me for Pleasant Hill. Okay, so Pleasant Hill, I live in kind of a, bedroom community. There are a lot of small towns around me that are suburban and stuff. And this is one of those towns, okay, Pleasant Hill. So you, as a realtor, you probably have 4 or 5 farm markets that you want to develop, right? That means you want to create a landing page like this on the landing page section for every one of those areas. Okay. Now, once you've done it, you want to change the background picture, right? And I have one here for Brookhaven. So here, this is what a standard, well, this is not standard. I customized a bit. I even put in, this is for Brookhaven, which is a golf course community. And I did this because I was talking to a guy who wanted to develop the Brookhaven golf course as like a farm market, right? It's a great homes that people want to buy there, blah, blah, blah. So I said, hey, if you want, you can go create your own little video and snap it in there. And you could even do that with your smartphone, upload it to YouTube and then paste it in. And great, you've got this great thing here, right? So even if you don't use a video, as long as you put a photo in the background that looks like Brookhaven in this case, that's going to kind of help you out. That's going to help consumers feel like you know their area. So this is how a landing page works. It says, what is your address? 1595. I'm times typing my, so any residential address, right, works. And then you click get your analysis. Okay, so this is how a landing page works. These landing pages, you might know this, and I'm sorry that I'm being kind of rudimentary, but it's really important that we understand the mechanics of what's going on so that you know what in the world you're doing. And I'm doing this because people ask that question all the time. So I want to make sure you understand it. So this is page 2 of the landing page. It says, hey, that little red spot, that's your house right there. We're ready. We want to give you your value. Give us your email address. Okay. Pretty simple question. 70% of people might give you an email address. Okay. The rest will just leave. Now, there's also another thing. I'm not going to get into it here, but you can actually go into your landing page and edit and require a phone number, right? You can literally like say, hey, I want to require an email and require a phone number. But I just mentioned to you that if you ask for an email address to get a free report, a good percentage of people will leave. Okay. And that's not good for you because you only have addresses. And that's what this guy is saying is like, I'm just getting addresses, right? But I'm missing the emails. And that's because people don't want to give you a simple email. Okay. So if you require a phone number, you pretty much are going to chop off about 90 to 99% of the leads. What I'm trying to tell you is nobody is going to type in a phone number on an online form. Okay, does that make sense? Does everybody kind of get that? So when we go to run an ad, so you created that tool for Pleasant Hill or any of your towns, you want to create an ad, and now we go over, let's give it a second. Oh, what is going on here? What is going on? So we're going back to ads. Sorry, guys, I don't know. Okay, and we want to create a landing page ad, right? I've got a landing page. Now I was showing you the Pleasant Hill one. Let's carry on and talk about this. And I'm going to leave it on lead ads. Okay. I'm not going to do it on traffic. Why am I not going to do it on traffic? Because I know I'm not going to get a lot of emails. And I know if I required a phone number, I'm getting pretty much nothing. Okay. So I'm going to leave it on lead ads and I'm going to explain to you why I'm doing that. And again, it's not just for you. It's for a lot of people who are going to hear this that need to understand. This is what the ad looks like over here on the right. Okay. Home values have changed. Get your free home value, right? Simple message. So if you chose to do a traffic ad, meaning when people click on it, they actually land on the page. Well, it doesn't matter. It's going to look exactly the same, right? And let me get this one so that it kind of makes sense. So you can either drive traffic to this page or you can use Facebook lead forms, either way, the ad's going to look the same. Okay, just like that. It's not going to be sponsored by Listings to Leads. It's going to be sponsored by your business page. You'll have to type in the name of the town, right? It's Pleasant Hill. And what did I do? Sorry. Fat fingers today. Pleasant Hill, California. And here, when we press this ad, when we push this, it will go out. It's got a $50 ad. It's 7 days long. You can't spend more than 50 bucks, right? So, excuse me. So this is going to get, so when you see this, and let me take us over to Facebook. Let me open another page on Facebook real quick. When we go to Facebook, in case you don't know how it's working, run an ad, it doesn't show up. Notice I just clicked on Facebook. I've come to Facebook. This is the news feed. I see some stories. I see my friend about gas. And what do I see next? A sponsored ad. In this case, like AAA, right? That's how Facebook is. You come to Facebook, you see one thing from your friends, you see the stories, and then you go down and there's an ad. Now, if I keep scrolling down, I'm going to see all kinds of fun stuff. What my friends are eating and their dogs and their cats. And I just had a kid. All that's the news that you're going to see. This is the news feed, right? And if I keep going down 5 or 6 or 7, okay, it sounds like, I don't know, and I just got a message that you can hear again. Is that correct? Can you hear me, guys? Okay, so sorry, I don't know what happened there. You can't see anything? Let me, let's go here. Just a blank Facebook page. Okay. Okay, nothing on the screen. So I am sharing my screen. Let me click on something over here. It's telling me show screen. Nothing on this page but the Facebook logo. Okay, hold on a second, guys. I'm trying to, yeah, audience view. Audience view. Huh. Okay, it's telling me I'm looking at what I can see that you can see, and you're saying nothing on this page but the Facebook logo. Let me click over here. Can you see the ads page from our listings to leads? Because we may really be stuck. I don't know what happened. No, okay. Let me think. No, just a little. Now it's on again. Valerie, are we working here? Is everything, you can see my home value page? Yep. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. All right. So let's, it sounds like we're moving again. Sorry about that. So where I was is I was creating this ad and I was showing you on Facebook that this is Facebook over here. You can see this now, right? You can see like a picture of a gas station, right? And when you scroll down, the very second thing is going to be an ad. Okay, this is the ad for AAA. Miriam, you can't see anything. Can you see this guy, weird guy singing here from AAA on Facebook? Can you guys hear me? Okay, you can see everything. Okay, got it. Sorry. Okay, sorry. So when you run an ad like this, it will show up right on the news feed like this. Now here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little button that says get quote. Okay. On our ad, it's going to say over here, learn more. It doesn't matter kind of what it says. It's just going to be a call to action. And when they hit that, this little window pops up. So when they hit this ad, a little window pops up, kind of like a chat message, you know, like a chat message on Facebook. And it says, would you like more information? And then there's only one answer. It's yes. But in that answer is a pre-populated name, email, and phone number, their name and email and phone number from their profile. So they don't have to type it. Okay. And most people are like, great. Okay. I get it. You're giving me you're giving me their info and I'm asking the question. So my answer is going to be yes. And that's how you get the leads from Facebook, and they are name, email, and phone number. Okay. Right? So everybody gets that, right? Because I got to answer this question. I'm sorry, I'm belaboring it. But this guy says, are you guys using lead ads or, gosh darn it. Sorry. He says, are you guys using lead ads or landing pages to get your seller leads? I like full address. What he really wants is he wants a full address, a name and an email and a phone number. He would totally love that. And he says, but I'm missing emails a lot with them, right? So he says, I'm sending traffic to this page. I'm getting addresses. And when it gets to page 2 and they ask me, and I ask them for their email, they just walk away. Okay. Because I'm sending traffic in my Facebook ad. So he's asking the question, guys, what are you doing? And I answered him this morning, and it feels really rudimentary, but it's because I live in this. But I want to give you the answer that I gave him. I said, Rob, you got to ask yourself, what is more important to you? Having a contact name, phone, and email, or having an address? Which can you convert faster? If you get an address only, how will you convert them? Right? And I'm asking you guys this. How are you going to convert a lead where you only have an address, a physical address? If you have an email or phone, you can ask for the address. You could text them. I didn't put it. I should say you can text them. But then you have multiple ways to reach them to convert them. And this is the important part, guys. We're talking about Facebook ads, but we're really talking about how to get business, right? And we can actually get business from Facebook, but you have to think about converting, right? We're not doing this for fun. We're not doing this to put colorful things on the internet. We're doing it to get contact information. And you can actually, I mean, trust me, before Facebook advertising existed, we had this landing page, right? And we would drive people to it with whatever we could. We might have used Craigslist, or we might have used some other website. And our clients for years have been doing everything they can to convert leads from just a physical address. You can imagine what that's like, right? Like, you're going to drop off envelopes, you're going to do mailing, and you're going to hope one day they actually respond. Okay. Now we're in a different world. Facebook advertising is here. Facebook advertising allows us to use what they call lead forms, so we can get name, email, and phone number. And now what can you do? Well, you could text them, you could email them, you could mail them, because you might have asked them, hey, what's your address? Now you're approaching this prospect from multiple sides, right? At some point, they're more likely to respond to you. If you're texting, hey, I'm trying to help you. I know you're trying, you're out there thinking about selling your home, have you done any improvements? All that kind of normal stuff you can do via text and email. And maybe until they, just in terms of conversion, you shouldn't try to call somebody immediately if they don't know. I know that a lot of agents, I know there's this concept of speed to lead, and realtors feel like, oh, I just got their phone number, I'm going to call them. And you know what's going to happen. You're going to freak them out. They don't know who you are, and they're going to have to, that's a tough thing to do. And so really building a relationship or a rapport with text and email is the smartest thing you can do. So I don't know why that is not evident for Rob, but that's why I spelled it out there. And that's why I'm belaboring it here, because there are plenty of people who have that question over and over. Okay. So here we're using lead forms. We know we're going to get name, email, and phone number. There's one thing I want you to think about. First of all, this ad here is blown out. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Blown out. Like, realtors have been running ads like this for years. And Facebook has had some significant changes in their targeting, right? So Facebook was running illegal ads by realtors and loan officers, and Congress got in their face. Facebook was doing illegal election tampering with ads, so Congress is in their face. And so you cannot target the way you thought the way you could target 5 years ago. Because 5 years ago, if you had listened to my calls on this subject 5 years ago, you would know, like, wow, this is awesome. And it became less awesome about 3 or 4 years ago. But guess what? I've actually got some ways to make it awesome again. But I really want to explain this to you so that you know, because I think people want listings, and Facebook is a great place to have listings, but you definitely got to know what the heck is going on. So first of all, if you click in this box over here on the right, you probably, let's see, yeah, if you double click on it, you can edit this message. And there's some things that I think you want to edit. You don't want to just run it like that. And it's something like this, like 30 homes. This actually has to be accurate information. You're probably going to get this from your MLS. 30 homes sold last month, right? The high was whatever, right? Was 700K. Okay. And that's what? That's let's say 200 homes this year, right? This kind of data point is going to help them. It's just less generic. That affects your home value. And then click below to get your new home value estimate now for free, right? It's just a few words that make it, a little more compelling for people to click on. Because this, like I said, this ad is washed out. This kind of landing page is well over 10 years old. Realtors have been using this all over the country. A lot of people, consumers, homeowners, ignore this. So that's why you need to add a couple data points to get this for them to look, right? You could even say, I sold, 20 homes this year. If you felt like, if you have that kind of thing. But, excuse me. So there's another problem with this kind of ad, okay? Now, again, I normally do this at the end because it's difficult, but it's important, and you might lose track of you at the end. So let's do the hard stuff first. When we run this ad, you see how the radius says 15 miles? That means that's as tight as this is going to go, okay? So what does that mean? That means, let me go over here. Let me show you Pleasant Hill, California. Where are you guys? What part of the country, state even, or city and state? I'm in Northern California. And, okay, Tampa. So Tampa, you might kind of feel this too. Because Tampa it's got a lot of towns right around it, right? So this little white section here is Pleasant Hill. This is a small town in Contra Costa County. And there's all these other little towns around it. I can tell you that's about maybe 4 miles up north and south and about 3 miles across. But my ad is it's only going to get as tight as 15 miles. So what does that mean? That means way out here, all these cities that you see in this ad, they're going to see my ad. Okay. Now Valerie says she's from North New Jersey, and that could be, if you're more in a more rural area, a 15-mile radius may not be a problem. But if you're in a more dense area like where I am, there's towns next here, there. And so that's where the 15-mile radius works against you. Okay. So let me say one more thing about that. This is called pay-per-click advertising. Okay. So every time you click, Facebook charges you for that lead. And often for this kind of ad, these are the most expensive home value leads you're going to get from Facebook. So when you're running an ad that says, get your free home value on a landing page like this, Facebook knows, like I said, people have been running this ad for 10 years. They know it's an important ad to realtors. And so guess what? They're going to charge you a lot of money. This is going to be the most expensive lead for homeowners, for seller leads on Facebook. Okay. And it can often cost $15 more, maybe $17 per lead. So every time somebody clicks on it, they chew off 15 of your dollars, right? So that really means you're only going to get 3 leads with this. Okay. Yeah. And so Valerie's saying even 15-mile radius is a problem. The towns are very close, and it's a big difference in price. Totally correct. And I'm really gonna, I hope I'm not boring you here, because I'm really gonna get into the nitty gritty of why things work and why things don't work. So Valerie just raised a great point, and that is that there are towns all around that have different price points. On the map that you're looking at right now, in the north, the far up north, the top right, those homes up there can easily cost 300 or 400K. Down here in that area that we were talking about, Pleasant Hill, those homes are 5 to 7K. At the lower half of this map, these small towns you see, these are $1 million homes. So having this ad visible all over, if everybody sees my ad about Pleasant Hill and they click on it, and they're in these outer areas, that could be not a good lead at all, right? And so that's a big factor. And I want to say one other thing, because I definitely have heard this question. I want, excuse me, I want to create a home value page, not for every town in my neighborhood, in my farm market. I want to create it for my county, right? So let me back off here a little bit on my little map. And let me show you Contra Costa County. Okay, now over here is Oakland and Berkeley. You know, you see Berkeley, and that's kind of Alameda. But this picture that I'm showing you right here, this is all Contra Costa County, right? There's a little bit further south. But the swing, the range in home values today in this area can easily be from 300 to 3 million. And if you tell me that you know Contra Costa County and I live here in Danville, I don't even care that you know about Contra Costa County. If you're an expert in Danville, well, then I definitely want to talk to you, right? Again, if you're an expert in Pleasant Hill, you're a different realtor than down here. And that's only a 15-minute drive if the traffic's not bad. So that's why countywide, Bucks County and all these counties that, Brevard County down in Florida, people want to do that because they don't want to run separate ads. And I get it, because it's time consuming. It's not easy. And you now know that actually you can't target anyway. You can't target down to Pleasant Hill. So that is a big reason. It's a big problem. Okay. Now I have a solution. And guess what? It's not easy. But you guys are on here. I know that you want more listings, and I'm going to assume you want to stay in the industry. And so what I'm about to teach you is a little bit difficult. It's not horrible, but it is really valuable. And not many realtors know this. And I hope you can apply it if you're going to stay in real estate, because this is really good. You'll get some hype. So years ago, this kind of ad was the number one way to get listing leads. All right. The number one and good quality leads, because you could say, hey, I want to target people who own a home in that zip code, right? Like literally you could have said, I only want this ad to show up in front of people who own a home in that town. Like that was awesome. Facebook was straight up awesome then. Okay. And then they got themselves in trouble and it's less awesome. So now here is the workaround. Okay. And you might want to write this down. This is being recorded. You're going to be able to look at this later. There are companies that are not us that sell lists of targets, right? Sometimes your MLS can do it. Somebody mentioned Command. Maybe you can pull this out of Command, but you want to find a list of homeowners in Pleasant Hill, right? Like, or whatever town it is. Valerie's in Jersey. She's got 5 or 10 towns she's trying to figure out, I'm sure. You buy a list. Now, a lot of our clients are using Remind. There's a handful of companies that sell this. I think Remind says, we'll sell you a list of homes in this area with a low, medium, and high selling score, right? And they'll tell you they're using algorithms or whatever, but they're figuring out like, hey, there's equity, there's this, there's that, and these people are likely to sell. Okay. So you buy that list. And I would actually think, and that you might want to just get everybody, because this is a long game, right? So even though they've got people on the low score, you never know when things change and they got to sell. And if you're targeting them over and over, this can work. But a lot of our clients do the medium and high scores, and then they download it. Okay, they buy it from whatever resource they can get it from, and they keep it. Now, if you remember, I have multiple cities. You probably have multiple cities, and you probably want that data set for all those cities. Okay. So it's not free. I don't know how you're going to get it. Sometimes you can get it for free. You got lender partners or title partners, they can get that for you. But you're going to want to apply that for every separate farm market. Okay. So you buy that list And that is a good that you're gonna get the address and the name of the homeowner, which is great for mailing. And then you're gonna get ideally the phone number and email too. Now, here's what you do with that list once you get that. You go over to ads. Now, I doubt that that any of you have done this. So if you have questions here, definitely ask me, right? And it says here, could not create a custom audience. This is a thing that's a common. So up here, you can create a listing ad, landing page ad, and PDF guide ad. And then you can also, there's this little yellow message that says, create a custom audience. Now, this is because I'm connected to some weird channel that we have for the company, but you will be able to click a button and it says, accept custom audience terms. And then once you accept it, it says it's a page on Facebook, you accept it. You come back here to your refresh and it says, turn on retargeting, okay? And then you turn on retargeting, and this is super powerful. Once you've done that, this blue button appears. I'm gonna click on it now, and it's create an audience, right? So let's just go here, and you could create an audience like Pleasant Hill homeowners, right? And this is gonna live in your private Facebook ad manager, okay? Even though we're doing it in listings to leads, the format of the spreadsheet should look like this: email, number, first name, last name. You make sure your file looks like that, and you upload it right here, right? Import and create. It just like, that's how you do it. And so what happens is that is gonna live in your Facebook account. And then when we say, great, well, now that I've done that, I'm gonna go in there my Pleasant Hill page, and I'm gonna leave it on lead ads because I like name, email, and phone number. And in this case, you already have their address, right? Because you've got a spread of their address. But you're targeting this targeted group of people that you know are likely to sell. And you can type in Pleasant Hill here. I think it actually doesn't matter if you do or don't when you're doing it this way. Let's see here. Come on, don't be that way. Anyway, well, it's gonna be some grief here. Pleasant Hill, California. Can you guys hear me? Because my thing is acting really kind of weird. It's looking like it's grayed out. I don't think you can hear me. Oh, you can hear me. I'm looking at it. Let me ask you this. I'm going down here. I'm in custom audience. It says retarget. Now it's working. But I'm looking at my view of what you can see with it out, but we can hear you. Is it still grayed out, Valerie? So what I've done is I clicked on the ad where it says retarget. There's a box. And I don't have this list made. I should actually do it. But man, am having problems with this. Oh, it's not connected to my thing. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. So something happened in the background that messed me up. If I created a Pleasant Hill list, I could type in the name of that in this gray box, and it would drop it in. So since you know, it looks like I dropped the audio. Since you know it created that list and you bought it from however you got it, you're now targeting those people with that ad. Okay? Does that make sense what I've just told you? That is the strategy. That's what makes these kinds of ads work again. Okay? Can you hear me? Sorry, let's see. I'm not hearing anything. I can't, guys. I think you can't hear me. No, we can see nothing on screen. I can hear you. I only see this section at least once more. Yeah. Can you see this? What I'm showing you, this custom audience section here? Okay, good. Okay. There's a couple steps in, but this is a really effective way to get leads, home value leads from Facebook. Okay. So that was the hard part, guys. Let's go the easy way. Let's go talk about the easy stuff. Now, when we create ads, we go to the ads page. You can create listing ads. Valerie told me earlier that she actually has a home for sale. So you can just go, okay, I want to do this one. I have an open house, but it doesn't matter. It could be any status. You choose the property, you leave it on lead ad. So we get name, email, and phone number. You click create an ad. And this is how you get buyers, guys. Okay. This right here, what I'm doing, all you have to do is click publish. And that will generate. And just so you know, buyer leads can often cost like $1.50 to $2 each. We do a 15-mile radius. You can expand that if you feel like, people might want to know about this home in a broader area. There's $35. It ends in 7 days. You're not going to spend more than $35, but you're going to get a lot of leads because they're like $1.50 to $2. Okay. Really simple. Now, the only thing you might want to do is double click in this box and say, I don't know, if this is true, great schools, or, sometimes the name of the school district and it's important, I would put it there, right? Does it have a new kitchen? Does it have a wine cellar? Whatever, right? You might want to add a couple data points if it's not right there, and publish. That's all you got to do. This is the easiest, fastest way for you to get leads. Now, I also want to say one more thing. This is a $35 ad, and it runs for 7 days. Mine, it right here says it's sponsored by Listings to Leads, but yours is going to be sponsored by your business page. From a $35 ad, probably get around 20 leads, more or less, right? But probably 2,000 to 3,000 people will see this ad. 2,000 to 3,000 people are going to know you're a realtor. That business page is going to be sponsoring it. That's why it's really good to be consistently running an ad, okay? Meaning running a couple of ads every week, because thousands of people are going to know that you are a realtor. So if I run a home that's sold, like if you sold anything in the past couple of months, you should be running ads on it. If you want more listings, right? Because it says, hey, this home sold, that affected your home value. Text here or click here to get your address. So what should you do here? You should double click here and you should say these kinds of things. Now, this has changed. If we had been talking 3 months ago, you would have said something like sold in 4 days, right? Sold and maybe 8 offers, right? Like that's what was going on just 3 months ago. This month, it's kind of changing, but it's going to stabilize. And these kind of numbers get people to pay attention, right? Maybe it's going to be 30 days. Maybe you are getting above asking, whatever. If there's a data point that'll help people click, let them know, right? It just because you want people to do this, right? You want them to respond. Now, let me click that one more time. So creating a listing ad can get either buyers or sellers, depending on the status. Okay. Now, there's also these over here. Oh, I forgot to mention, when we talk about buyers, and I did mention those leads can cost $1.50 to $2. When we talk about sellers, those leads can cost, somewhere between $3 and $6. Okay. So they're more expensive. That's why we put a $50 budget, because those leads can cost more, right? So you're not going to get 20 leads unless you increase your budget. Okay. Now, if we go back to this page, you can also, let's say let's say you're a brand new agent and you don't have any listings and you never have, right? You can go here and you'll notice that there are over 25 buyer PDF guides. These are 5 and 6 page reports. And there were over 25 seller PDF guides, and they're 5 or 6 page reports. You as the agent are branded on every page. Your contact information is on every page. If you don't like the color scheme, you can click over here and change to your theme, right? Whatever color scheme you want. If you're operating in a Spanish speaking market, we've also translated these in Spanish. So, but let's just say you want to run 12 mistakes to avoid, right? So you click this and you then got to type in the town. Ooh, that does not look good. Sorry. So we type in Tampa. Okay. Florida. Now, in this one, if you don't mind driving, you could expand that. More people can see it, right? I imagine you got some nice traffic over there, so maybe you don't want to be driving 30 miles. But here you go. You can run this, and it will go for everybody within, in this case, 30 miles of Tampa. Okay. Now, when they see this, you remember the ad is over here. I'm back on newsfeed. I see one picture from my friends, and then I see an ad, right? So your ad is going to show up in this case for 30-mile radius of Tampa. And it says click here to download. So when they click it, they're going to be able to give you their name, email. Oh, it's blank. Oh, see, it's blank. Let's give it a second. I see what you see, and it looks like it's blank. Oh, I see that's weird. I see what you're looking at. You said there's a, okay. Well, let me talk you through it while we're waiting for that. So when you run this ad, it shows up on Facebook, and they download the report, but they got to give you their name, email, and phone number first. Okay. Now, the way I did it, when you can see my screen, is I did it where I was just saying everybody within 30 miles of Tampa, which you should do, right? You should do something like that. But I also think you should remember how I showed you to retarget. If I've got a list of homeowners in Tampa and I want to stay in front of those people, I would want to probably run an ad that's like Tampa wide, or maybe do both. Run an ad that is for homeowners, right? I can see that the screen is still blank. Yeah, I can see that. So I'm just talking here. It looks like it just went live. Can you see my screen now? Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Valerie. So what I was saying, I'll repeat what I was saying. When you run this ad, it's a 30-mile radius of Tampa. That means that anybody that lives in Tampa or 30 miles from it, they're going to see that ad, just like this ad right here. Okay. And when they click on it, they're going to be able to download it, but they got to give you their name, email, and phone number first. All right. That's what's going to happen. So this is a great thing. Now, I do want you to understand that this is a PDF guide ad, and Facebook sets the price of that lead. We often see a PDF guide ad costing $10 to $12 a lead. Okay. So all of our ads to get seller leads are always kind of, the default is $50. You could raise it or lower it. But I showed you on creating a listing ad, and I said, oh yeah, a sold ad, a lead can often cost $5 to $7, right? So you know that you're going to get X number of leads. But if a PDF guide costs $10 and you put in $50, you're only going to get 4 or 5 leads. Okay. You understand that? And then I showed you earlier the landing page ad for free home values, right? And that's how we started the call. And I said, these can often cost $15. Honestly, I'm going to repeat this. I would not run this ad unless you use the strategy that I was talking about buying a third-party list of homeowners. I would not run this ad. You can, and I will tell you this, we've had clients recently just say, I just run this just like you do it right here, and I get good leads. Okay. What I'm telling you is, if you get a data set and you get it somewhere and you upload it as custom audience, this can be very, very powerful. Okay. So any questions about how to run ads and the kind of ads that we talked about here? And let me know if you have questions now. I'm going to show you a couple things. We do have landing pages for down payer assistance and new construction. These are automatically designed in everybody's account. You can create multiple home value pages. You can also create multiple custom buyer landing pages. And I'm going to show you this. This is for Brookhaven. So I want to kind of go down the landing page thing, especially when you're trying to get buyers. Creating a landing page to get buyers is only effective if you're talking about a niche. Okay. a niche, like this is Brookhaven. It's actually a golf course community in Texas, right? And they're in Farmers Branch, I think is where it's called. Farmers Branch. Yeah, right here. Okay. And now this is a niche, meaning, you know, if I if I wanted to buy a house in any city in Farmers Branch, Texas, you offered me sign up for a free list, I would not probably respond because I know and you know that I can go on the Google and find that all these properties like right now, right? So I don't even, I'm not about to fill out a form when I know that I can just go right over there and search all day long, and I don't need this. But if it's a particular kind of home, in this case, a home in a golf course community, well, that's a good, then that's a different niche. There are other kinds of niches as well. And you might have one that you might have in your business, like waterfront homes, lakefront homes, particular condos, and even horse properties, ranches, right? If you've got that kind of thing going on, you might want to create a landing page and run an ad. So I see a question here from Mary. Do you only have the option to create an ad on Facebook, or can you use the landing page on Google? So these ads actually, Miriam, will show up on Facebook and Instagram. And we're about to launch Google AdWorks in just a couple weeks here. Okay. So right now, I will tell you this, Miriam, do you run ads on Google right now? Are you like doing that? Because you can do that. You can take our landing page and go run an ad on Google. You can go run an ad on Bing, which is the Microsoft search engine. And you can also go run an ad on Yahoo, right? You probably want to know what what the traffic is like. It might actually be a smart thing to test all of those things. But I will tell you, Google is the number one search engine in the world. Okay. So, and that being said, the leads cost more. We actually run ads for our company for listings to leads, and we've tried out Bing. Didn't get a lot of response there, right? We tried out LinkedIn, didn't get a lot of response. Google seems to be like the most effective place. If you can see what we're doing here, and if you run an ad on Facebook, you might know that running an ad on Facebook is 3 pages long, and you got to click about 10 to 15 buttons, depending on what you're doing. It's not that easy to be successful on Facebook. In our world, you can see it's 1 page, and you can just do just a couple things, and you're going to have a successful ad. That will be a similar story than Google AdWords. Google's is really powerful. The leads cost more, but there's certain time when that kind of lead is worth the extra money. And we're going to make it much simpler, much easier for you to do that. Okay. So Miriam, that is a long-winded answer. Yes, you can take our page and go run an ad on it now. In probably 2 weeks to 4 weeks, you're going to be able to do it close to automatically through our platform here. So there's one other thing I'm going to say about ads, and then I'm going to kind of wrap it up with another thing. So on the listings page, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to answer, Valerie. So just hang tight right there. So on the listings page, your listings can be here. You can borrow listings. So let's say you don't have your own listings. You can borrow listings by using the Grab Active Listing. You definitely want to have the permission before you start doing that. And then when you go to that, you click on Market Listing, you're going to see all the great tools that we create. You should be using as many of these as you can. I can tell you, they are all designed to capture leads. So Valerie, you got a listing. It should be in your account, and you should be using at least the top out of this list. We create them all automatically. We email them to you. But the first thing you can do is go right here and create an ad, right? The number one thing, we prioritize this list on how many leads you get. What are the best things, highest impact? So the top half of this list is super important. Actually, they're all great tools, but we just see from total volume what's going on. The top half is what most people use. Create an ad. Very simple. Okay, so that's the ad place. So the question came up, and guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you have any questions at all, let me know. I'm going to show you a couple things that I want you to have. I'm going to send it to you right now. One is leadgenwebinars.com. Okay. We do about 4 or 5 classes. We rotate them. I do this Facebook class every couple weeks. And so you can sign up for the live classes here, but if you miss it, right, because you guys are busy, you can go to YouTube, and I'm going to send this to you right now, right? So if you want to save it, you can save it. But if you look for listings to leads on YouTube and go to our videos page, every time this call is being recorded, every class that we do, we record. And I'm sending this link to you right now. I would really recommend that you save this, that you go see what some of the other agents are doing, because you may know, like Valerie, I spoke to her, she goes, I don't really even know why I have your system. I don't know what to do with it. You might want to look at a few of these other videos of what other agents are doing with our stuff, right? But then you'll see these long calls, get started. No, this one here, the top tools to get more listings, is really, really important. We covered a bunch of those tools on this call today. Getting started. Valerie, this would be a good call for you. It covers a lot of parts of the system. And then the last one is Facebook advertising, which is what we're on right now. We're doing right now. Scott's got some new ones, top ways to generate listings from social media, how to make 250K. These are interesting presentations that we're working on. But those 3 that I just named, I would go check. If your schedule doesn't meet ours, we always have it up there. We'll put it up in this group here. So are there any other questions? Well, everybody, thanks for putting up with me being late and this whatever problem that GoToMeeting is having. I hope this helped you. I know we started off in a slow manner. I think it's really important that you understand how this all works, because it can help you grow your business. It can help you make more money. And that's really what we want to see. We want you guys as clients for life. And, it does take a little bit to get your arms around it, but it is worth the investment of your time. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend and get in the mastermind group. If you're not in the mastermind group, use the support page in your account. Ask them to add you to it. Otherwise, it's hard to get into. All right, everybody. Take care. Talk to you soon.